I just wish it wasn't dangling so much.
It's not a problem I have. High and tight, baby.
High and tight. Always high and tight.
Sheesh! You're gonna die.
Give me 1 second, because I still have tears in my eyes.
He's dying inside.
You have a grumpy face, by default.
Man, I don't even live here.
Did I remember my keys, or am I just stupid?
Oh, I don't like how this is going.
I thought this was for dummies.
God, I smell dog shit.
Ants are similar in the way that they use the sun's trajectory to know where the
Fuck
food is
ants.
found.
I hate ants.
I know, but they're smart. They make burial grounds, and that's weird.
Well, they just throw the bodies in there to pretty much eat
Well, they
them
make a
again later.
pit where they specifically put bodies.
Yeah.
It's like a burial pit.
But
That's weird.
They're pheromone, heavy.
It's like
pheromone
300.
as
They
well.
just have the pit. They just
I mean, kind of, yeah.
kick them all in. This is Sparta!
It's like
This is Spanta!
It's like Monty Python. The Holy Grail is I'm still alive. Take him. I'm still alive.
There's a certain chemical that ants release when they die. It's another pheromone, because ants are heavy pheromone creatures.
Yeah.
But
I know. I've played Fallout.
But when they die, they secrete a pheromone, and that's when the ants will come and pick up the bodies. I've watched research and videos on. They would take that same chemical and put it on living ants, and the other ants in the colonies would come and grab the ant that had the pheromone on it while it was still alive and wriggling around, and take him and throw him into the dead ant pile. That's when they die. They release a weird smell, and after it wears off, no matter how many times the ant would leave the burial ground and come back, but even then, I think there was a part that the ant smells the pheromone on itself, so it's I'm dead.
What do I do? What do I do?
This is where I need to be.
How do I pick myself up?
But once the pheromone wears off, they'll go back.
Positive words, my friend.
Exactly.
That's how you pick yourself up.
No, that's really crazy.
You can do this.
I thought you were. I was fully expecting you to be they were metal as shit, and were just they smelled the dead one that's not actually dead, and they just lift it up and rip it apart.
No, they don't do that.
Fuck you!
Already dead. Yeah, you more dead.
Full on gore.
But yeah, they'll take. Even if it's alive, it's just that pheromone, and they'll take them to the death pits and throw them in there. Yeah, it's
animals
weird.
are cool.
Death pits.
Pits.
That's pretty metal.
That's a pretty metal name. Death pit.
It is pretty metal.
Anyway, welcome to the Absurdity Podcast.
We're here finally.
We're here.
We've been here.
Monday.
So I'm Cameron.
What up, Cameron?
And this week, I guess last week, I decided to, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, I decided to play
a tattoo on your ass.
No, I decided to play a little cruel joke, a prank, if you will.
Is it a prank or is it a cruel joke? Because pranks are fun for everyone. Cruel jokes are going to hurt somebody's feelings.
Well, this won't hurt anyone's feelings.
Okay.
But
I'm offended.
There was a grasshopper about this big on a washer, and so I just lifted the lid and popped him inside and then shut the lid. So the next person that opens,
I hope so.
I'm hoping it'll just jump out.
You should. I wish you would have been able to fit it just in the where you put the laundry detergent. Just a little capsule, just fit him in there. So the second you open it, he has to try to escape.
And I was like, "Is this mean?" And I was like, "I don't even care. I'm doing it."
Worth it.
That was
Totally worth it. But I don't get to reap the benefit.
You just get to know that.
I have the knowledge that. And I also want to thank you for opening that can. Ever since you brought those Topo Chicos to my house, every ad I see on Facebook or Instagram is Topo Chico.
How about that? We've been
And
talking
they're
about
delicious.
too much Topo Chicos.
Every single ad. I'm like, I've seen 14 in the last 4 days.
They're listening.
Now that my parents like this, I enjoy it.
Topo Chicos are good. I like them.
It's just fruity enough to be a decent hard seltzer. But then other people were telling me that they can taste the lemon in it. But actually, I even poured it into a glass and put more lemon juice in it. And it came out even better.
The pineapple is my favorite for sure. The pineapple and the strawberry guava.
Strawberry guava wasn't
This
bad.
one's the tropical mango, and it's
not
a
bad.
hint. It's a hint.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
a
got
big
more of a
mango.
weird-
I'm not a big mango fan.
Not a fan of
I'm
mango,
just
huh?
a big fan of things in general.
He just likes things in his mouth.
That is true. I've known him long enough. That was disgusting. Don't do that in the mic. I hear that way too much now. Way too well.
A little bit of that ASMR.
Yeah.
Not for it.
Not that.
Not that one.
And hi, everyone. I'm Jake. And this morning, I was trying to go to the bathroom at work. And while I was doing my thing, just, caulk in hand, trying to take a piss. I look up and there is a spider coming down a vent off of a string, going straight towards my crotch. And yeah, so
Did you let it land?
No.
Oh, that's rude.
No, I went straight fire. I went straight fire hose. Just I let it loose while trying to get away from the spider. It was a pretty decent sized spider.
Did you?
I cleaned up afterwards.
Oh, okay, good. I was gonna say you fucking animal.
No,
Savage.
no, because it was a mess.
I can imagine.
It was like a Morningwood situation almost.
Wait, what? Hold on.
No, I'm saying like when you first wake up and you really have to piss.
Okay, I was
like that,
I
so-
thought you were gonna say you had a
raging-
boner at work. I was like, we gotta have a conversation.
Okay, well, this was also before, and like this was like 4:30. Not even then. It was like.
It doesn't matter what time it is.
I can have a boner whenever I goddamn feel like it. Actually,
Hey man, I got a boner right now. I just need a stiff breeze.
Just
and it
think about
pokes
spiders.
Right up.
I'm not anywhere near that.
Happens to the best of us.
yeah, it was a mess.
Peed on the walls.
It was a fun start
peed
to
on
the
the
morning.
ceiling.
But I had the gym to myself this morning, and I was very happy. No one goes to the gym at 1 a.m. apparently.
Usually not.
Who knew?
No.
On a Sunday, not usually.
Most people are sleeping.
Yeah, who knew?
It's usually what they do.
Yeah.
What up, guys? DK here. Are we doing? What are we doing? Is this fun facts?
I don't know.
I don't even know what's
It's
going
just
on.
a thing at this point.
just-
It's
it's
just
just
your
a
name
thing.
and then say something.
So
We should really like work out the kinks on that, but
Hey
oh,
man,
It'll work itself out eventually.
yeah, it's kinks. If you got kinks, you got kinks.
I go.
Oh, yeah. Introduce yourself and a new kink you learned today.
the kink that you
I go
discovered
either
is-
like something that happened to me or
Hi, I'm Jake, and let me tell you about cum dums.
dad jokes or crazy facts. Those are like my three go-tos.
Well, my crazy fact of the week is in 4 days now. I get to have a camera shoved up my ass for medical purposes.
But we can't do the Patreon.
So that was 3 days ago for people that are watching, actually.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be 3 days ago.
It'll be free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, fingers crossed that we get some good news, guys. Gut problems aren't fun.
Yeah, check Instagram for updates.
Yep, I'm just gonna
Check Patreon for.
just gonna put pictures of my gaped beehole. Not even related to getting a camera. Just
But it's
gaped
labeled
beehole.
under educational.
Good morning.
So
Hashtag money moves.
I don't know if we're recording or not, but when we were talking about the whole dental thing about getting your wisdom teeth removed.
Your dental dam?
My what?
Obsolete.
Go.
Prophylactic.
Go. Just go.
But
Just go.
but did you know that they're doing? I don't know if they've already finished the study or if they're still doing the study on a theory that it due to not chewing enough solid food as a child, like having too much of like a prosthetic nipple, like when you have a bottle.
Okay.
So
Go,
when
continue.
you have a bottle or you're using too much of a pacifier as a child, it actually causes your jaw to not form properly.
Yeah.
Which means it doesn't have room for the wisdom teeth. It's a theory going
yeah,
on.
no,
and
no.
There's actually they've done like from what I listened to it, they have a lot of very positive results. And very
No, there's a lot of-
anything's gone like they haven't gotten anything contradictory.
There's a lot of studies showing that the kids that had bottles compared to breastfeeding, like their jaw doesn't form, like their teeth don't form the way it's supposed to.
You end up with more of an overbite.
Yeah.
Your soft palate is so soft that you end up more of an overbite. It'll pull your front teeth forward. But the wisdom teeth are a residual. They're like the appendix. They're a residual
they're
thing
not
from
needed.
when we were, our diet was completely different, and also as we have evolved, our structure of our lower halves of our mouth has tapered inward. We're not so big jowled in anymore. Plus, we don't need
Speak
to
for
eat,
yourself.
I mean, we don't need to eat high fibrous like tree branches like that would
for
require
yourself.
the. I mean, if you need to, they make Metamucil now. But
That's what it was. I was like, what is the name of it? I was gonna use it, and I was like, what is the name? And I was like, never mind, I won't say anything because I don't know what it's called.
Metamucil.
Metamucil.
Yeah.
I used to take that,
Yeah, I think I'm supposed to start taking.
like when I was a kid.
Yeah, you didn't eat enough fiber when you were a kid, huh? You have some
No,
loose
I think my mom just wanted me to take it. Like I don't think there was any like specific reason.
Yeah.
I've never
So you want drugs?
You want some Metamucil over the counter?
like she would just like literally pour it in our drink at dinner.
Yeah.
every
Yeah, I
night.
can get whiskey over the counter too.
But
But I thought that was like kind of cool that they were like doing that, and they were also going to the idea that, well, not the idea, but it was a way to think of the human body and like DNA in a different way, because I always thought of like DNA and how your body forms as like it's a blueprint. Like it's basically like it's already decided, and you just give it the resources and it does it. But it reacts to the environment. Like obviously, like there's a lot of things that are genetics, but like a lot of ways that certain things are formed is environment based. Like how you chew your food, altitude, like the things of that nature, humidity, like that kind of stuff will change part of your body. I never thought about it that way of like, yeah.
Every
like,
little like
things.
Yeah, every little thing of your environment can change how your body reacts,
especially as a child.
Like, yeah, because you're forming. Like everything's kind of like forming. So
it always like I think like when you think of like kids developing, like the more I think about it, the more I like it's really important. Like during those like years. Those years are so vital where like there's so many people that like something bad goes on during those years and that's just them now.
100%.
So it's just like, oh my God, like, and
Sorry.
like it gives you like a perspective on life being like, it is that easy to like just have a mishap in life where it's like, oh, well, this is just you now because something happened when you were 13. And congratulations.
Well, that's the other thing. It's not even, it's crazy. Like I've been doing, I mean, like I constantly am listening to serial killer podcasts. I mean,
that's a good character trait.
That's what I'm into the occult. I'm into serial killers. I'm into all the wacky weird shit. So, but, who was the one I just listened to? I think it was, give me 1 second. I can tell you because it just came out this weekend.
I don't know why I haven't sat like this for like the whole
time
because this is extremely.
Well, I mean, but
how's it look on the camera angle?
So a lot of serial killers, they do have that. You know, there's a shitty childhood, like a terrible childhood, but there's a couple that like this one,
like seemingly normal.
No, yeah, like had happy childhoods, but
that
they
worries me.
But the thing was they were all they never had like a traumatic experience in childhood, but they were bad from the beginning. Like that just something was wrong.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, there's several serial killers who looking through their history, you would have no idea that they were going to do that. And then it's just the fact that they got caught and that they have a long rap sheet of, and some of them, like I said, like, oh, man, I can't, his name.
It always, because I don't know if anyone else has the concern, but I always have the concern that like, I'm just like an underlying psychopath at some point.
Well,
I have that concern for you. Yeah,
if you're worried about it, then you're not.
I mean, that's a fair point. Is like psychopaths aren't concerned about being.
I'm not worried about being a psychopath,
but you're also.
Well, you don't show psychopathic traits,
tendencies.
Yeah,
like the thing,
like easy manipulation, like literally seeing people as just objects to be manipulated and used to make as your own goals. Like, people are literally just a stepping stone.
What do you think I do for the listeners?
Well, that's different. You guys are stepping stones.
That's different. Sorry. That's money.
I'm manipulating all of you.
Okay, my phone doesn't want to load anything right now. That's great. I love it.
Speaking of psychopathic traits, though, I did get told by my therapist that I need to get tested for bipolar disorder and ADHD.
I believe it.
Yeah. And
like, I'm not meaning that in a bad way. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
Like
I posted on Snapchat and I got like 7 responses being like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, guys, I appreciate it.
I mean,
a lot of my exes were like, yeah, you should like that. Makes sense.
I don't.
Yeah. This guy, Rodney Alcala was his name.
I've never even heard of him.
Yeah. He was.
I know of a Rodney Mullen.
No, his name was Rodney.
I know
Alcala.
Mitt Romney.
He was good. He was active throughout the 70s and early 80s as a serial killer. The same time like Richard Ramirez, like when all the serial killers, lead paint. There you go. Lead paint in the 70s caused all the serial killers in the 70s.
Crazies.
I wonder actually what percentage it did benefit to that.
No, that's there is heavy correlation with because there was a lot more serial killers in the 70s and 80s, and that is as the time was where we're clearing out. But there's definitely ties to the heavy amount of serial killers at that point in time and the use of lead in gas and paint and everything like that. But yeah, this guy's got like a rap sheet, like not confirmed because he didn't talk about it when he went to jail. But there was 2. For sure, but up to like 28, they were saying. And he went for women and children, like girls. And what he was on the dating game back in the 70s.
Oh my God.
He was a handsome guy.
Wait, was he?
And what he would do is he was a photographer. Dude, the cops they fucked up bad because they arrested him twice.
He's a nice guy,
and they just let him off. Like one was sexual molestation of a child, and then the second one was he kidnapped a child while he was on parole and got her to smoke weed. But really, they think it was because of the weed is why they even arrested him when he was on parole.
I was like, if someone kidnapped me, he'd be like, "Hey man, you want some weed?" He's like,
but his thing, he would go up.
I'm not kidnapped anymore.
Yeah. He would go up to like unassuming people, and he would be like, "Hey, do you want to see a pretty picture?" Like that was his opening because he was a photographer. He always had his thing, and then he would try and get them, and he would do like photo shoots, and then he would do his thing. And man, he's a
real piece of work.
No, it's gruesome. Like the things that I said there doesn't even begin to paint a picture of the type of serial killers are weird, man. It's crazy to think that people can go to that level of darkness and the human mind just kind of justifies.
What was his name again?
Rodney Alcala.
Shout out Rodney Alcala.
I think he's still alive.
Yeah. I was about to say R.I.P., but
no, I'm pretty sure he is still alive.
Did you ever hear the story of the arson investigator who would consistently commit arson, who wrote a book about an arson investigator who committed arson?
Yeah.
I do not know who that is.
Oh my God. So a guy named John Orr, I heard about this guy the other day. I heard about him a long time ago, and then so I heard a story on YouTube about him, and I was like, oh yeah, like this is like such a ridiculous story of an arson investigator who loved fire.
Mm-hmm.
So he would set fires and then investigate the fires, and then later on made a book about an arson investigator who loved fire so much he would just start fires and then investigate them.
Yeah.
And then he's in prison for life.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in prison he wrote more books. Like I think he wrote a book called like Fire Lover and a bunch of other stuff about the same
Fahrenheit 451.
That's Ray Bradbury, and that was a long time ago.
And on that,
I tried so hard to read that book.
It's a good book. It really is.
But I don't like reading. Like it's not that
I try hard just to read, and I don't like reading.
It's not that I don't know how to read. It's like I just don't enjoy it. Like I don't find joy in it. I'll find the movie version.
It paints a really bleak like story of like fascism and conformity. Dude, it's crazy.
Well, and I think what my problem was is like they made us read it in school.
It's
so
hard
like
to read a book when you're forced to read it.
Yeah, like if I had probably picked it up myself, then I probably would have loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're forced to do it, it's like I don't really want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have to get to this page by this day. I'm like, oh no, like why am I getting deadlines? I don't want deadlines.
So speaking of fire, did you hear about back in August the professor from let's see if I can find where he's from, but a professor in California that was setting fires and trying to trap firefighters in the fires that he was starting, and they caught him because he got his car stuck near a fire. His car got stuck in got stuck on like a deeply buried boulder or rock or something, and they've caught him trying to escape, but his car couldn't get out.
Good.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they said
that's karma, baby.
I mean, yeah, he was trying to kill people. He was trying to kill firefighters with a fire after he had left this college.
What a dick.
So he teaching. Am I getting a phone call? I want a phone call.
And I'm sorry, Rodney Alcala died this year.
R.I.P.
July 24th.
I mean, is it R.I.P.?
Yeah.
Rest.
In peace.
Just rest. Rest how you deserve to rest.
In peace. Everyone deserves to rest in peace, regardless.
But yeah, his rap sheet, his actual criminal charges compared to the like associated ones is small. Like he's got 1 count of battery, 1 count of kidnapping, violation of probation, 2 counts of rape, 1 count of providing cannabis to a minor, and 5 counts of first-degree murder. But like, there's evidence that he killed a lot more.
Yeah, they get a lot of serial killers that just like they'll catch him on like a couple of them, but then that guy will never disclose. The way which is crazy because most serial killers are like sociopaths. Mm-hmm. So you'd think they want that fame,
yeah.
But they don't. They don't. No. They keep all the extras.
There's a couple of them. Yeah, there's a couple of them that keep it. Like I said, Rodney Alcala kept it to himself because that was his thing. Like once he discloses that, the memory is tainted in his mind.
Yeah.
Like that's not necessarily what he said, but that's kind of like the psychological evaluation.
I can't remember who it was, but there was like a guy that like murdered 130 something people, but he only admitted to 5. He said he killed more, but he never disclosed where the bodies were, so they couldn't prove that he did it. But so he was only charged with 5 counts of murder, even though he was like, I murdered over 130 people.
It's like that's with Rodney Alcala. He had like thousands of photos of, like it would be photo sessions, but his MO was to photograph somebody and then he would kill him. But there was so many more people in these photographs than what he actually. So it's safe to assume that a lot more than what he just had. But yeah, man, this is crazy. They'll finish up part 2 on him next week, and I'm really excited because he's like I said, the ones that are real brutal are the ones that I'm just like, man, the human mind is a strange thing.
Yeah, because it's like once
it's
something
scary.
just breaks up there, like once like just that wire gets crossed, it's just like you're a psychopathic killer now.
That's it for
it's
life.
like this is who I am. I like to decapitate people and then have sex with their body. It's just who I am.
We didn't ask for your autobiography.
I was like, clip that for future references.
For evidence for future.
Your Honor, clearly.
I love that the entire time he said that, none of us said a word. So it's gonna be like the cleanest audio clip ever.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the one part of audio ever that has no interference anywhere. Perfect audio for the history books.
Exactly.
I just like to decapitate people and have sex with their bodies.
There it is again.
So says I.
Accident. Say it
so
twice.
says I,
Must
Jake.
be true.
Jake 2021.
Oh no, I don't like any of that.
Let me look at here. So, going off of our ivermectin story from last week. So, did you hear about? So, did you hear the original news story that was saying that hospitals in Oklahoma are so flooded with overdosing ivermectin patients that there are gunshot patients waiting outside the hospital?
He said that last week.
I said that last week.
That was false. They interviewed multiple hospitals in Oklahoma saying that there was no instances of any gunshot victims in the area waiting to be seen due to ivermectin overdoses. And in the hospitals that they checked, there was only actually 1 gunshot victim in general.
Okay.
Good.
So they went into, and I even looked into like listening to like CNN and Fox News doing these news stories, and I haven't watched like actual news since being a kid and sitting on the floor while mom and dad sat on the couch and watch news back when they used to just sit there and read off of a screen. And this woman is sitting there and she was like, they're taking horse dewormer. And then she was like, can you believe this? Horse dewormer. And I'm like, calm down. It's okay. Then she was like, animal paste. People. Animal paste. I'm like, how much are you trying to feed these people right now? Like, you only say stuff like that when you're literally trying to just get people angry. Like, you're just trying to get people angry. Be like, oh, these idiots. Like, it's all these people's fault.
That's literally the media.
I know. It's so oh my God. Like, I couldn't finish the entire thing. I was just getting so mad at looking at how much attitude she was putting into this.
Each media outlet pushes their own agenda. And, I mean, to get the full story, you have to literally, like, read articles from every single news station. Or every single, any media source, just so you can kind of grasp an idea of what the actual truth is.
Me, as a Joe Rogan listener, I was recommended to download DuckDuckGo as a search browser extension. So it does everything unfiltered. So like anything you search, like you just get the first thing that's supposed to come up instead of like recommended. And I've been using that, and what would normally take me 30, 40 minutes of being like, all right, well, there's like a lot of opinions in this, find another story. All right, well, these people have contradicting opinions. Which opinion do I believe? Can I find a third story with no opinion? It just pulls up news, like like actual studies and statistics and the things that I want to see. And it's been very helpful. And going off of that, I found out that, did you know the WHO doesn't have a vaccination policy for its workers? And they said at max right now, they said they might strongly recommend it sometime in the future if they deem it necessary.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting that the WHO hasn't decided to do that yet. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good on the WHO and that's bad on people pushing the vaccine, or if it's bad on them and good on the others, or if it's neither, and it's just people doing what people want to do. I don't know what
that's them taking the point to, they understand that there is going to be a problem if you force it upon your employees or whatever, so they're going to give the employees the choice. But I mean,
and
it's whatever.
I hate to just take over the beginning here, but that just reminded me of what Biden said about vaccine mandates that he's wanting to do right now, where he wants all federal workers without option of testing to get the vaccine. And I believe it's like 2/3 of all U.S. employees would have to either get the vaccine.
Yeah, employers with over 100 employees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I don't know if he means like physically inside one building at one time, or like a company that has more than
over 100
employees.
people on payroll is what it's going to be.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, well, corporations are just like every single employee. That's every employee.
But did you see the news story about Governor Stitt, the governor of Oklahoma?
I have not actually.
He is going to sue the Biden administration because he
fucking go
is
Oklahoma.
not going to enforce that. So he's suing the Biden administration for.
What's really going to suck too is like if that doesn't go anywhere, then I feel like even if Oklahoma, like even if the governor says no, I feel like if a corporation's in Oklahoma but still goes under federal law, doesn't the corporation still have to do it?
It depends on where they're based, but
yeah.
It's like federal, like I said, it's like the same concept as how like cannabis is illegally federal.
Yeah.
So you can't have any type of
issue.
But I don't know. I'm not worried. I already got mine.
Yeah. I'm considering getting mine because I've seen that recently 25% of all COVID patients right now are children. 25.6% of COVID patients are children.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, it's a different thing when kids get involved.
I mean, it was only a matter of time before kids got involved.
But they're also saying that people who have already gotten it and then have beaten it are naturally like more immune than people that have taken the vaccine.
Well, yeah, because you have antibodies in your system.
But there's also people who have not had vaccine and have had it 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
So,
But it's and this virus is really comes down to the individual.
Well, and all the different strands that are out there now. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to be immune to all of them.
Like I said, I got my vax. I wear my mask. I'm doing what I can do.
Like I got vaccinated as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with people forcing people to do certain things. I think it's a good idea to do it. Just kind of help out. You're literally just helping out the population at this point. But when someone says you have to do it, like I don't think that's right.
You should have seen how he said it. In the interview, he said, "We've given you time, but we've lost our patience." Yeah. In regards to forcing a vaccine mandate, I was like, "You're just going to talk to America like children? Like you're just treating us?"
A lot of them need that. Children. A lot of them need that.
Yeah, but then the people that don't need it, it's like you're just belittling any intelligent people in your country. Being like, well, none of you are as smart as I am, so Daddy here is going to tell you what to do. Now go be inside for a little bit, and when you've been good enough, I'll let you come back out. Because that's kind of how he treated lockdown. That's how some governors treated lockdown. Was like, if you're good enough inside, I might consider letting some outside activities happen.
Well, I mean, we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, at that point, we didn't know.
But when they're literally when they're actually using vernacular they would use at children to your public instead of just giving them facts, then it becomes a weird. It's a weird situation. Then just touching out like it. It's like a priest.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to respond.
Yeah.
because like I feel that there is a large portion of the population that has to be spoke to like children before they get anything out
Agreed.
of it. It's just, I'm not saying that that's anybody in general. I'm just saying that some people.
I mean, yeah, those people will definitely exist.
So, I don't know. Like I said, I am burnt out. I'm so fucking burnt out on it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it being points of contingency, like in arguments. I'm tired. It's the same concept. Like
The buzzing.
Like I said, I'm my body, my choice, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So that should be it. Like, other than that, like, I don't want to hear anybody screaming about, oh, there's fucking microchips in it. Oh, we like.
Oh my
like,
god, that
it's a
I
vaccine.
hate that argument so much.
And then
I saw the videos.
I
So
saw
funny.
I saw an argument the other day.
So,
And this person was it was a Facebook argument. So of course, Facebook arguments are usually the ones that you see are usually you're just like, what the fuck am I reading?
and they're massive paragraphs.
Well, no, this dude, and he was talking about, I won't do this vaccine, blah 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 blah. I won't get this. Anyways, talking along the line, and then the response was like, well, your children have to have vaccines to go to school. Like, they have to have vaccines. And he's like, those are immunizations. This is different. It's like, what's the difference between an immunization and a vaccine?
It's the same thing.
Like,
my only thing is I just want to wait till one's FDA approved.
Pfizer is.
Pfizer is.
No,
It has been.
I just read a story that says Pfizer has not.
Pfizer is approved for everyone ages 16 and up. Pfizer is approved.
Let me read
Yeah, they literally came out and said.
That's been that way for like a month now.
Yeah. They came out and said Pfizer was FDA approved.
So I read a story that was proven false.
But here's the question, though. Along that line of thinking, ivermectin is not FDA approved for fighting COVID.
Not for fighting COVID,
Exactly.
but they got the creation of it for general health was given a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Japan said
It was given a Nobel Peace Prize because it is a parasite remover that helped third world countries with their animals remove parasites.
Proven to help with diseases and viruses.
But is it FDA approved for that?
It's FDA approved in general.
But it's not FDA approved for fighting COVID. There is a difference there. And I'm saying in that line
even
of
the entire
argumentation,
country of Japan said that they recommend using ivermectin for treating COVID, and that they've been doing that for their own
okay,
people.
we're
not saying it's wrong. I'm just
saying with the argument that with that statement, it's not approved.
And also, ivermectin, I'm talking like that's like a very, very basic.
Ivermectin is a
thing.
parasite remover, is what it is. It's a parasite. That's what it was made as. That's what it won its Nobel Peace Prize.
I know,
as.
but like the very basic like thing that you're taking, like not the actual dewormer, the paste, but the actual like pill and everything like that. It's very generic, and there's no like downsides to just taking it just to take it to help you. But there are potential downsides to taking like vaccines that possibly have side effects. Like it just has a lot more things in it, so there's more possible side effects. I just want more time for people to look at it and be like, oh, well, this happened, or people that took it like within a couple months or a year, like these things started happening to them. I just want to come, a couple more months.
Ivermectin. This medication is used to treat certain parasitic roundworm infections.
And
That's literally it.
it does a lot of things. It's treated for a lot of very basic things. And also, just recently, 60 million doses of COVID Johnson & Johnson vaccine had to be taken down from the Baltimore plant, can't be used, and 100 more just got put on hold in June.
Why?
I think for that plant, it was due to mold and bacteria growth in the plant.
I didn't touch the Johnson & Johnson anyways.
The Johnson & Johnson was the one I was hearing the worst about, I think.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even take it into consideration.
And the vaccine in Japan actually did have contaminants in it. There was 70 million.
Yeah, I heard a lot of bad things about the Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, and the whatever one Japan has, they had like black particles in their vaccines in like 70 million vials. So there was like a bunch of people getting sick from that. So that's another thing. I'm just like, I got so many things. I'm just so.
I got
edgy.
Moderna, and I've had zero side effects. No.
I'm also worried that with my luck, I'm going to be one of the few people that like just
like I got
weird happens.
I got my last one in May, and I'm nothing. Like March. I'm fine.
Yeah, I've got mine in March.
Yeah, like I'm perfect. Like nothing.
So
no weird sicknesses, no weird like nothing.
But again, like it seems like it's
no tail, no
for, like,
sixth toe.
Person right now, we're like even getting the virus itself. So many people have so many different symptoms. Where it's just like
at this point, I'm not even sure if I even had it or not.
Yeah, I still think
like I've had some weird sicknesses, but like it hasn't been like nothing compared to what they are saying. Like mine was like, oh, my stomach didn't feel good for a day, and then I was done. But like back in like November of 2019, I was sick for like a full week, like deathly. Like I couldn't get out of bed. I slept all day long. I couldn't cool down. But then it just passed, and I've literally haven't been sick since. So besides after the second shot, which I didn't really get sick. I was just tired.
Yeah, I just felt like
they said that's supposed to happen after the second shot's supposed to be the hardest shot.
The first shot was just like I couldn't move my arm.
Is that one an mRNA?
What?
Yeah, they both are.
Is it, or is it just the Pfizer that's an mRNA?
They both are.
Yeah, there's just because I had the same thing where like there was one week last year where I was just deathly sick. I couldn't leave my bed. Like it hurt to move anything. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not leaving my house. I'm not leaving my bed. And I let it pass. And I'm just like, I swear up and down that I probably had COVID right there. I just haven't gotten antibody test or anything.
But like, yeah, like after I got the second shot of Moderna, like I didn't feel sick. I just felt like I had absolutely no energy. Like it just all got sucked out of my body. And it lasted for a day and I was back to normal.
Yeah, I know some people who like just tested positive for COVID, but they never had anything, and they weren't even like really healthy people. They were just average people. Well, and then there's other people that were healthy that got like destroyed by it.
I can't think of the name for that. Where you could like have it but never show
Long
symptoms.
COVID?
No, asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic, yeah. Like some people were asymptomatic, so like they could have COVID, they could be out there spreading COVID, but never know they had COVID because they didn't show any symptoms of it.
And the argument that because.
And that's why no matter how much I hated the mask mandate, like it was kind of a good idea. I mean, it sucks. I hate wearing the mask because I'm already fat and I already get hot enough. I don't really want to be breathing on myself. Yeah. But
if you have like a little bit of music, you like cough up something. It's like, well, that's in my face now.
Yeah.
And for any,
you want to hear something gross though? After that little what you just said.
What?
You want to hear something gross?
What?
So today I was driving and I coughed and I literally felt stuff come up and it was about to like exit my mouth and I like caught it with my lip and like then I was like, oh, well, let me roll down the window and spit it out. But like I literally felt it hit the very end of my mouth and I was like,
big old.
It was cool. I liked
lung butter.
I was like, man, I got reflexes like a kitten.
Yeah. A mucusy kitten.
Yeah.
What really annoys me is like any of these arguments that like, especially about the vaccine, like I'm very 50-50 on it where like I'm fighting for both sides because I can see where both their arguments are about like, oh, like natural human herd immunity, getting the vaccine and like vaccine herd immunity, or just like not getting the vaccine, just getting it, or getting the vaccine and, just doing that. And like all like just every single argument, I'm just like, I can see both sides of it very well.
Well, there's a plus and a negative to herd immunity. The plus is obviously herd immunity, but the negative is
a lot of people
has to get sick or die in order for it to work.
Yeah, because the whole idea is like enough people get it and are now immune to it.
Yeah.
That if a small percentage of people get it, it can't go anywhere else. It's just there.
But those people could die, and it's like, why are we risking that? Why are we risking death? Which, I mean, we risk death every day as it is.
You risk the death when you made a vaccine.
Well, you risk the death when you get in your car.
Yeah.
I mean, you risk death every day, but
then
like...
you could use that... you could use that argument for anything. That's why I like to use that argument of like, oh, well, it could happen anytime. It's like anything could happen anytime.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's... I mean...
I'm taking the steps that I think will set me up to have one less thing to worry about.
Yeah. Same.
Speaking of any time, just yesterday, Paul Pelosi, the husband of Nancy Pelosi, I don't know, how much money did he just make? Let's see if I can go back to that. Oh, don't tell me I lost it. That'll make me very sad if I lost it. Anyways, he won a couple $1 million. Not a couple, like a couple $100 million.
Like from a casino?
No, from buying 5,000 shares. No, not 5,000 shares. That was something else that happened in 2020. Let me start from the beginning, because this is a whole rabbit hole I just went down. So there was a company called CrowdStrike. It is a security company. This security company was in charge of doing an investigation of their own servers to see how the servers had gotten hacked into back in 2016. Nancy Pelosi had hired this company to... I don't know if she hired them. I know she was in charge of this investigation in some way with this company. This company had...
You have a fly on your camera.
There's a fly assaulting me at all times. It's very annoying. And it's on top of the camera taunting me and staring at me. And they had said that the hack had come from Russia. But they would never give the servers to the FBI after they had come down with that conclusion of their own servers. They would never show that to the FBI. They just never gave it to them. Just after that, her husband had bought 5,000 shares in their company, and their company went up by 111% shortly after. Very shortly after. And then he had bought, let's see. I wish I wouldn't have lost these stats. I thought I still had it pulled up. But they had bought a ridiculous amount, like in the decent millions. I want to say probably like $15.5 or so million in call orders for stocks. And what a call order is you go into a contract with a company saying that when these stocks are available, that I will buy them at this set price. So whether the price goes up or down, this is what I'm going to pay for it. And then that was shortly they were doing this just before a meeting of all these massive companies of like Google, Apple, Netflix. They were all about to go into the meeting. So while they're about to go into the meeting, he makes these call-in orders. And then magically, right after this meeting, like his money just explodes. And now Nancy Pelosi's net worth is, I believe, between 120 million
Nancy
and
Pelosi's
180
husband,
million.
right?
What?
Husband?
Yes. Paul.
His net worth.
I don't know what his net worth is. I know Nancy's is...
I don't know what...
120 million to 180, I believe. Which isn't even the richest politician.
No.
And going off of the richest politicians, I didn't realize how easy it was to just go from the company of Goldman Sachs into American politics, going from John Corzine, who was the governor of New Jersey from 2006 to 2010. He was the former CEO of Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
Her net worth is 120 million.
Yeah. That's what I have in my notes, but for some reason in my mind I read up to 180, but I think that was somebody else in the same category. And then you have Stephen Munich,
probably.
Steve Mnuchin.
Yeah,
Mnuchin.
Who was Secretary of the Treasury from 2017 to earlier this year, former executive of Goldman Sachs. During those times, Goldman Sachs was charged with foreign bribery case and agreed to pay over $2.9 billion in 2020. And U.S. Attorney Benjamin B. Wagner of Eastern District, California, said that Goldman's conduct in exploiting the RMBD's market contributing to an international financial crisis that people across the country, including many in the Eastern District, California, continue to struggle to recover from. That was in 2008, while John Corzine was governor after just being the CEO of this company. So I was like, why is it just that easy? Like,
It's money.
It's easy for people with a lot of money to make a lot more money.
Yeah, but while this company's being investigated, like, these people should partially be in question as well, I believe.
Well, that was 2008. That was a
No.
huge financial crisis while Goldman Sachs was involved in it. But you also have Enron that had a huge thing in 2008. There was so many different things in 2008 that was shitty market practices. That's what led to the housing economy crisis of 2008. Was all of these lenders, Goldman Sachs, so on and so forth.
But Goldman Sachs is like the gold standard of the golden turd.
It's the same. It's like the Bilderbergs. That's like that shit that makes like you start going down that rabbit hole. You start going down Illuminati rabbit hole.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the rabbit hole where
hole.
someone eventually tracks your searches.
Oh, fuck it. They're already tracking your searches. What's it matter?
It's okay.
Yeah,
They'll
that's
just
true.
watch weird porn and jerk off and cry for the
Tentacle
7th time.
porn is what he's into.
That was like 2017. I'm into weirder shit now.
Nice.
Nice. You all want to take a break?
Yeah, I do.
We'll be back after these messages.
Hey guys, it's the Absurdity Boys here to talk with you today about Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain real quick. First and foremost, it's free. Yeah, no cost. Out of your pocket, nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Secondly, there's a ton of creation tools that are allowed oh my god, I'll have to fix that part. So
Absolutely not. Keep going.
there's a ton of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer.
Wait. You can do this while you're pooping?
You can do it while you're pooping?
You can make a podcast while pooping?
A pooping podcast, if you will.
Pooping.
I mean, as an example, we did one in a truck, so yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, so you can do it from your computer. So while you're at home, there you go.
There you go.
So pooping or at your home, on the job, anywhere.
And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many more.
So even if it's like on some crazy like third world country like thing, you can put it there.
SoundCloud.
Like,
I don't know about that to be specific, but actually,
don't quote us on that.
Don't quote us on that.
But you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
That's perfect for guys like us with
Yeah.
zero listenership,
With no
honestly.
listenership. Yeah.
I listen, but I think I'm the only one.
It's everything you need and more, all in one place. So make sure you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Get started.
Get started.
So, welcome back to the show.
We're back.
Welcome back.
So we're gonna do a 180 here.
Hard 180.
I have a little game.
Nice.
It's a true or false game.
Oh, it's a true or false game.
Yes.
It's a game where it's true or false.
So,
I'll stop listening to logic now.
yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Welcome back to the show. So the kakapo bird has a strong, pleasant, musty odor which allows predators to easily locate it. Hence, it is critically endangered.
The kakapo bird?
Mm-hmm. True or false?
Never heard of a cockapoo.
How do you spell that?
K-A-K. The kakapo bird has a strong, pleasant, musty odor. K-A-K-A-P-O.
Real? Oh my god, I don't even know what region that'd be from.
I'm going to go true.
You go true? What you gotta do?
Just to be interesting, I'll say false.
The answer is true.
Ah.
Most of the birds
Stupid bird.
cannot swallow their food without gravity.
Are you asking for...
That's true.
Is that the next question?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true.
That's 100% true.
That is true.
That's why they
Racing
can't take
birds-
That's why they can't take birds up to do any type of space studies because there's like no gravity, so they will.
Was
starve to
that
death.
was that a theory? Like,
No. That was they took
They
birds.
tested
no, I mean, like, was that like in question? Like, we
Well,
should
no.
take a bird up to space.
No, because you said birds can't. But
Yeah.
No, there have been or in the early days of the like
Astronomy?
Astronomy?
program of
We'll figure it out.
We'll get there.
Well, I kept wanting to say astrology, but I'm like, no, that's not it. That's the
Study of stars.
study of stars
Oh,
of your
Virgo.
fake stars.
Fake stars.
But no, they tried with birds up in space, like in low orbit, trying to do tests, like how when they did with the dog and the monkey and everything like
I was going
that.
to say the monkey did.
So they took a bird up
They
there.
took a bird up there and
They killed it.
They killed it. I mean, a lot of animals. have died.
Murderers!
A
I'm just
lot of
imagining
animals
a
have
dude
died in
just,
the
like,
name of
shoving
space.
food down.
Space exploration. That's for sure.
In the name of astronomy, you must die.
But yeah, no, that's 100% true.
It can take a photon 40,000 years to travel from the core of the sun to the surface, but only 8 minutes to travel the rest of the way to
100%
Earth.
True.
I'll say that's true. He seems confident.
That is true. Penguins propose to each other with singing.
False.
True. I watched March of the Penguins.
Penguins propose to each other with pebbles. You ever
But
watch
that's
Pebble
only
and the
one type-
Penguin?
that's only one type of penguin that
Fruity
does that, though, too.
Pebbles?
You never watch Pebble and the Penguin?
No.
You gotta have
I
that. They
watched
get like the smoothest.
Pingu.
They get like the smoothest, roundest rock that they can get, and they like put it on top of their feet, and they like waddle over, and they present it to
I'm
them.
thinking of the video. It's just like, I'm gonna get blue. Bitches love blue.
A male giraffe will taste a female giraffe's saliva, and it helps determine whether the female is ovulating.
I do that. So yeah. 2 giraffes.
That's just wacky enough to be true.
True. Yeah, like, who would thought of that and made
False.
it false?
Okay.
The male giraffe tastes her pee.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, even weirder. There are more possible iterations of a game of chess than there are atoms in the known universe.
False. False.
Do 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 do.
True.
Do. It is true.
What?
That's because you have
Atoms
what?
in the known universe
Well,
and then chess opportunities.
There's it. That's it get
I
exponentially
guess that's
different.
fair,
Every
'cause-
move you
yeah.
make during chess makes
That's fair.
opens up thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of more moves. And then you multiply it every move, and it just exponentially gets more.
You don't know how big the universe is. Fuck.
The explorable universe was the question, or the seeable universe was the question, or
known universe.
Known universe was the question.
I know it all.
When we breathe through our nose, we always inhale more air from one nostril than with the other one, and this changes every 15 minutes.
I'm gonna say false because it depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables there that I'm gonna go with false as well. But I do think about partially true, but also partially false in that one.
It is true.
It's all true.
It's all true.
I do know, like when I'm stopped up, like
I've never been
I
able
just
to breathe well on my left.
I'll just lay on the other side, and I'll usually clear up.
And you
Well,
could
blow
feel
my
it move
nose.
from
Yeah,
one
you
side
feel
to
the
the other.
pressure.
I love that feeling.
But,
I don't know why.
No, I felt that there was, but I felt like it was just too.
Like 15 minutes. Like
Every 15.
yeah,
minutes.
every 15.
Every
That's
15
pretty
minutes.
exact to be true all the time.
So right now I can. It's mainly through my right nostril. Check back in 15 minutes.
I can definitely tell you're false. I've never been able to breathe well on my left nostril.
Well, you might have a deviated septum. Or
Yeah,
something
that's
already.
totally-
I do have a piece of.
We're talking about normal people here.
That's fair.
Honey has an expiry date.
An expiration date.
Expiration date.
Expiry.
date.
Expiry date. EXPRPIRY.
That's weird. No,
I think they spelled it wrong.
negative.
Typo.
Honey does not spoil. You could feasibly eat 3,000-year-old honey.
Yeah.
As long
Bees
as it
make
doesn't turn, as long as it doesn't like solidify into sugar or separate, then you're set on honey.
Nature produces it, so it's good.
The Spanish national anthem has no words.
Then what makes it Spanish?
It's from
It sounds
Spain.
Spanish if it doesn't have
It's
any
from
words.
Spain.
It's from Spain.
Is it actually like literally? Okay, yeah. I don't know. I was literally thinking Mexican.
I'm gonna say no. They don't have it. It doesn't have any words.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I'm gonna say false. It has words.
It is true. There is no words.
Yeah, it doesn't. Because every time I think of like World Cup games or anything like that, yeah, no, Spain's never had words.
I just thought the story go ole ole. I was like, yeah, that's the national anthem.
I think that's used more in Brazil than in Spain.
I haven't been to either. So it's
I've watched a lot more soccer.
A mantis shrimp can swing its claws so fast it boils the water around it and creates a flash of light.
true.
True?
I know this to be true. I actually heard this on something like not too long ago.
Like I knew that the
I did
mantis
too.
shrimp
It was
had
on
like a
documentary.
violently like fast, but I didn't know about the boil of water or
Yeah,
flash of light.
it's cool to watch in slow motion.
Yeah,
have to
like
watch
literally
mantis shrimp
boils the
videos
water. It's crazy.
Okay, so I had this thought: is the reaction of boiling water, is that hotter than the boiling water and the thing heating it itself? Like the reaction's hotter, right? You know what I'm saying?
I'm confused.
Kind of like
I would think the thing heating it would be hotter.
Well,
I
that
think the reaction itself, like when it's happening, that instance is hotter than the actual water.
well, it's the friction is what's caused. It's the water friction over the claw that's causing it. So it's nothing actually heating. It's so that layer. I mean, the layer of the exoskeleton of the shell right there is going to be hot, but it's only because of the friction.
Yeah.
And then the reaction is happening in the water itself. Like it's coming off of it. So it's not like it's heating up, but it is heating up, I guess. Like I said, it would be just like moving ridiculously fast underwater, and you'd be like, oh shit, that's hot. Because like, have you ever taken it's like water, like a water jet, or like one of those
power sprayers,
like water guns that you like plunge and you like put it really close to you, and it can burn you because of how fast the water's coming.
Never attempted it.
No,
I've done it on accident because I got like something really nasty on my leg power washing the dumpster area at work. And now I had the power washer on. I'm like, oh, okay. And I went.
No, I'm not even talking about power washer.
Why would you do that?
It was just like it's supposed to be like, oh, nasty. It's like, oh.
I'm just talking about like one of those
the plunger
water
ones.
Guns.
Yeah,
like those will do it. It's just that moment of moving so fast that it's causing friction to happen, and so that's what I'm thinking is causing that. There is just the water friction on the.
I tried to look it up. Body. I just couldn't it was hard. It's hard to Google. Like the way you need to phrase that sentence to get an answer to
it's not necessarily. I mean, technically, it's a chemical reaction, but it's not a chemical reaction.
Like, it's the action of boiling more. Like
it's 212. It's like once it hits 212, it's boiling. Like I said, now there might be times where the vapor's a little bit hotter, but 212 is a rolling boil.
That's what I'm thinking, because when you cook things, like when you like steam cook things off of like boiling water, it'll cook quicker. And I'm thinking it's because in that immediate reaction, the steam coming off of that's hotter than like
the water itself. Well, yeah, I mean, because it's separated down. It's steam now. It's gas. It's not water anymore. Like I said, water starts boiling, but I don't know what vaporize. I mean, I'm assuming it vaporizes at the same.
There's no way for a pleb like me to test it. Anyways, next question.
Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landing than to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
100% true.
True, but when someone looks up that answer in like 100 years, I guess no.
It's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, no.
Ignore that thought.
No, we're keeping it.
Keep it, but don't pay attention.
I mean, you guys are going to know the answer to this. This is so easy. Female seahorses give birth to their young.
No.
No is correct. More than 20% of the popcorn in the U.S. comes from Indiana.
I believe that, so I'm going to say true. I think all were Rittenbalkers from Indiana.
False.
It is true.
Indiana.
20%.
Oh, that's sweet corn that's in Nebraska.
An octopus has 3 hearts, 9 brains, and blue blood.
Say 9 brains?
9 brains.
I was going to Google this because it's just such an absurd question. I don't like it. I'm going to...
I think some of those numbers are mixed up, so I'm going to say false.
It's true. It is true. 9 brains, 3 hearts, and blue blood.
Well, I knew they have the brain. I knew they had multiple brains, but I didn't know it was 9. So it's pretty much an individual brain. Are you kidding me? Octopi are fucking smart.
They're really smart, but like, why don't they have things?
Humans are the only animal that has things. Now, is that really smart? Like, I'm convinced octopi are aliens, are not of this Earth. I feel like they came from something else and evolved on this Earth. Because they're just
the underwater aliens I talked about before. The underwater aliens.
I hear your words.
That was Atlantis. But no, these, I mean, I don't feel like there's also I mean, it was a long time ago. There was a documentary, not a documentary. It was a kind of a docu-series on History Channel. And it was like what would happen after mankind disappeared and
the octopus.
Everything else.
There were squids. Like squids became a land animal, and squid.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That would be.
I want to see what that would turn into.
Like,
could you imagine we're just like, if you just see some squid like walking across the ground?
Exactly.
Like, ugh.
I mean, but what was our like fish version? I want, like, it could have been squid like.
Dolphin.
No, it was it looked like kind of like a crocodile is what it looked like. Very
Hell
similar.
yeah.
Very similar to that.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of crocodiles, baby crocodiles self-soothe by sucking their trunk like human babies suck fingers.
I'm going to say false on that.
I'm going to say false on that one too.
Baby elephants self-soothe by sucking
that
their
makes
trunk.
more sense.
Yeah, I would say alligators have
Could you imagine a crocodile on a trunk?
For a minute, I thought you meant his tail, like it's sucking on its own tail.
I know. I was when I read trunk, I was like,
how's it gonna bend
What's
its
it-
snout
I'm
around?
just imagining just an alligator just going.
on its
It's like,
own
this
self.
is it now.
rolling its snout inside itself.
the element plutonium is an unexpected metal. It's a soft, silvery white metal that is solid at room temperature, similar to aluminum, but it can literally melt in the palm of your hand.
Plutonium? No.
Plutonium is not the one you're
Oh,
talking about.
plutonium?
Plutonium?
There's no I.
I think there was meant to be an I. I think it was supposed to be plutonium, and I'm going to say false.
I think...
It's not platinum, the thing. is
No,
it?
not at all. Platinum has a ridiculously high melting temperature. There is a metal that I know...
Doesn't that one start with an M? It doesn't start with a P.
I thought it started with a B.
Well, okay, well, now...
You're both wrong.
Okay.
It's gallium.
That's it. Gallium is the metal I was thinking of because I've
remember
seen
the
videos
image
with
of-
like spoons. Like people do like
Mm-hmm.
they'll have a gallium spoon and they'll mix up their coffee and then they're like, oh no, my spoon's gone. And you can melt, like I said, you can just melt.
But
gallium.
you wouldn't want to drink that.
No, you wouldn't want to drink it. You just got to drink it from the top because it's going to sink to the bottom. So you don't get. It's not like it's mercury.
I feel like at that point you're holding a firecracker for 1 second too long and think you're.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But what if you get it in your body?
Like so I don't know the reactivity of gallium in the human body. So
Because
What's the point of having a gallium spoon? You use it this one time.
the thing is you can pour it back into a mold at room temperature and put it in the fridge
Oh,
for a
yeah.
second, and then it's back to being metal.
You can never actually use it.
You can use it on ice cream.
You can use it as just like you have normal spoons, and then you just have like these fuckery ones for people to come over. So you just pick up a spoon, you're eating there, and they're
like, oh, here's a spoon for your coffee. And they're like, what happened?
and they drink it and die.
Well, I mean, if it melts in the palm of your hand, it'll still say melted in your body.
That's fair.
So you would just poop it out into the water and then it would turn solid
Oh my
again.
god, yeah, you leave it in the toilet until it's room temperature.
Gallium is a
Well, Valium's a fun drug. But we're talking about gallium.
Gallium is a poison by subcutaneous and intravenous
Ooh, it's poison.
routes and harmful if inhaled or
Okay,
swallowed.
so yeah, don't do that.
It is
Don't do
probably
that.
an
But what isn't harmful when inhaled or swallowed? Come on.
Water?
water. I mean, if it's
high
inhaled,
quantities.
if you inhale
If you
water,
inhale water, yeah.
you
Very
can die on
harmful
Try
if
it.
inhaled.
Try it.
you can inhale. You can die on tablespoons of water. Something got to be a little.
That almost got me too.
Put some water in your hand and snort it. That would burn so
Oh
bad.
my god. I never even thought. My brain's never computed the pain of snorting water.
Try it.
Just, no.
For the content!
No, I don't think I can
God,
mentally
what a
make
pussy.
myself do that.
What
Not
a,
that bad.
what a pussy.
No, but my brain doesn't want that. I'm only gonna do a lot of things, but for some reason, snorting water is one of them.
It sounds terrible.
It does. Intentional waterboarding for like no purpose other than one person that's gonna be like,
A cat's meow is a form of communication with humans only, not other cats.
True.
true.
I never do that.
It's
That's
really
very-
weird. Yeah,
Cats don't. Yeah, cats don't.
meow at each other.
That's weird.
It was a thing brought on by being human, being domesticated.
Rats laugh when tickled.
What?
Rats laugh when tickled.
I've watched plenty of Disney and
Planny?
Plan.
What's planny?
Planny.
In the early 90s, Pepsi owned 17 submarines, a cruiser, a frigate, and a destroyer, all because of a deal with the Soviet Union in which they exchanged soda for military equipment.
That's true. Yes, and it's a very fun fact.
Yeah, I can see that being true.
It's true.
It's very true. I remember studying that.
What a weird thing for Pepsi to own.
Yeah. I thought the same thing when I was a teenager.
Yo,
researching
we
out
got
in high school.
17 submarines.
Corporate warfare.
Let's take Coke out now!
I mean, that was around the time where like corporates were funding war. So yeah.
You still are. What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, but it was more like they had these things like, and they could just say they had them. I want this next question. Hit me with it.
Dogs create a heart with their tails while mating.
False.
False.
Because first off, like the way
Dragonflies do.
Dragonfly?
don't they attach the tail?
No, they make a heart. That's what I just said.
Interesting. Every dragonfly I've ever
Google dragonfly mating. Dragonflies mating. Google it.
I turned off my. Well, I didn't turn off my wall hotspot. I turned itself off.
That's a
mean-
weird Tinder recommendation.
Dragonfly.
No, it's someone that we know.
Whoa. We'll have to talk about that after there. I don't know if we want to call them out right now.
Patreon content.
But
pay for the tea.
I don't think that they would listen to our podcast, but I can say the name and you're going to be like, oh, but it'd be funny. So we'll talk about it after.
Just hold your hand over the mic.
I don't
bleep it.
I don't remember her last name.
Wait.
I mean, but how does she
married?
look?
Huh?
I thought she was married.
I don't know. That's
Her profile says looking for friends.
I'm gonna have to cut all this out, but
that's who it is.
yeah, that's 100% who it is.
So I
Okay. All right. Squirrels plant thousands of trees every year worldwide due to simply forgetting where they bury their acorns.
True.
That is true.
Squirrels are dumb as shit.
Kiwis birds. It says kiwis.
It's kiwi bird, but
Okay,
can't do
but
that.
it's spelled with an S.
kiwis.
Yeah.
Kiwis?
So just kiwis.
Kiwis
Apostrophe bird.
Are almost completely blind and forage mainly by feather.
I know nothing about kiwis.
It says kiwis birds are. I'm going to read it word for word.
Kiwis birds.
Kiwis birds are almost completely blind and forage mainly by feather. The end of the sentence makes no sense. Mainly by feather.
Yo, did this guy
I
just
do
give
think
us a
that they're
rating?
blind, and I don't think that they fly. I'm gonna say true.
I'm gonna say false.
It is false. They forage by smell.
By smell.
I want to say that the
I didn't know birds could smell.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
they
say the only reason
No.
I said false was because my brain said armadillos can't see that well. So I said false.
Okay.
And I was right.
It's illegal to cut down a cactus in Georgia.
I believe that just because of how many weird rules, like laws.
Are there cacti in Georgia?
That's probably why he can't
If
chop
they're-
them
yeah.
down. So true.
They're an endangered species.
No, it's false. It's in Arizona.
Arizona.
There's so many.
That's why it's illegal. I don't want you to
just-
get rid of them.
I want
It's
you to
just
get
cactus and dirt.
Sloths can't shiver.
I don't know about the abilities of sloths other than the fact that they're stupid enough to think their own arm is a branch, grab onto it, and then fall out of trees and die. And they also pee upside down
I know they're really good swimmers.
because they're
And they're terrifying when they're wet.
Yeah,
they are
they're terrifying all the time. Honestly,
they
They're
really
very
are
creepy
like
looking.
if someone said like if they were like the speed of just most animals, then they would be one of the most terrifying creatures.
Yeah, their claws are insane.
Yeah, like if they could
claws,
actually
man.
attack you with those claws, what do you think it would take to get those to be like fast? But I'm gonna say that's true only because I think they physically don't have the energy to shiver.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I feel like they're so slow moving that they don't have their shiver would be like.
I've watched them cross roads. I don't.
I'm gonna
think
say no, they don't shiver.
They
their
don't shiver.
would just be like.
But
just
they
like an
also
old guy
are in
trying to
environments
dance.
where they
wouldn't
yeah,
shiver.
they
It's
wouldn't
not
shiver.
cold
They're always
enough.
in like in the
Tropical areas.
Oh, when you're in the middle of a rainstorm in the rainforest, I mean, it gets pretty chilly.
I imagine it's still pretty humid, though.
yeah.
Probably. I mean, especially for something that has a thick layer of fur.
Oh, this is terrifying. The Milky Way galaxy is on a collision course.
I'm going to say true just because it's morbid,
It is.
which means it's probably true.
Oh, okay. This isn't that scary. The Andromeda galaxy is close enough to collide with Earth's Milky Way galaxy in 4.5 billion years. Okay, so I'm not worried about that then.
Yeah, you would. Like, that's
That just goes on to the point that I think of that, like,
Andromeda was a good storyline.
bad gameplay.
Bad graphics.
I don't even know what this is.
Mass
Mass
Effect.
Effect Andromeda.
Oh,
Like bad graphic. I didn't
That's like
like. I didn't like
Mass
the
Effect
gameplay.
4,
the
right?
graphics were
Yeah.
okay in me.
There was points where like they would talk and like the mouth wouldn't move, and there was no facial expression. So like they could be mad and just be like, "Yeah, I didn't like that."
I do remember. I do remember when they released Andromeda, and they like dropped like a couple of pre-release copies in like they just dropped them from like low orbit, and this guy found one out in like
Like what?
it was up. No,
That's pretty cool.
no,
actually.
it was in.
just kills a guy.
It was stuck out in like the Redwood National Forest out in Cal. It was like 60 meters up in a tree.
Oh,
and they had to
nature.
come
That's
and they had to get
crazy.
it down. I remember reading that article with
That's not worth the trouble.
it sucks.
Good storyline.
It had a great storyline, but it felt like an incomplete storyline.
Yeah, maybe they were thinking
even
that they were going to get
apologized
another
for the
one.
game.
Maybe they thought, hey, we'll get another
I
one.
think there is a plan to make another Mass
There
Effect.
is, but they said they're taking a long hiatus.
Well, what I read was they're going to take a long time to make it. Like, not a hiatus, but like they're planning on spending like 6 or 7 years working on it. Mm-hmm. Just because they don't want Andromeda to happen again.
Be careful, you don't want to be a cyberpunk.
That's true. But, I mean, they can't really...
Game, honestly.
Even if they released it the same way Cyberpunk got released, it would still be an improvement from Andromeda.
That's fair, because I still want to finish Cyberpunk.
Like, I finished Andromeda twice. Not worth it.
I finished it the first
time. I don't know why I went back.
I don't know why I went the second time.
Like, it didn't feel good to upgrade the weapon. Like, getting new weapons didn't feel good. Getting new armor didn't feel good. Like,
no.
It was so lackluster.
Yeah, like, I think 3 was, like, the best.
I think...
as far as open world and also a linear-based game. Like, it had, hey, here's your direct objective, but here's about 1 million other things you can do. But it still gives you the direct line of sight of where you need to go. I didn't like that certain missions were timed. That was kind of annoying, but
gotta get done.
I didn't feel like doing it right then, but then I can't ever do it.
I did like them, like when you had to like go into like the purification area and then you had to like run and then like the deadly mist was chasing you. I thought that was kind of fun.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. You're just like watching this mist behind you, like slowly creep up, like you're like sprinting out of this base. You're like, oh my god.
Especially when you had to run parallel with the mist, and you're like, oh, it's gonna get me.
It's like coming here. You're like, oh yeah, there was like a couple of them where it's like movie scene where it's like hallways.
Yeah,
and you're just going down. It's like just you see like it getting closer as you go down and down.
And then those like panels on the floor were like, exploding right in front of you. There was aspects of that game that were really fun, but
they had really good ideas.
Yeah,
and then bad execution on the whole aspect.
I wasn't invested in any of the characters, any of the side characters, like the teammates.
Your characters always like your characters just looked stupid. Like you couldn't make them look good.
No, not at all. And it's just overall not really worth buying. But I bought it anyway.
I think I'm going.
But I bought it before I didn't know it was going to be.
I think I'm going to start enjoying the idea of like a silent protagonist. Because it's like the only way where I don't get like these just cheesy one-liner like situations or like these just no emotions and people just reading off of a script in a game where I'm just like, like I'm not feeling it. Like, I'd rather just have someone just be a hard ass and not talk.
Grand Theft Auto. Up through 5.
I would say, well...
Before 5.
I would say, or unless you play online, yeah.
I'm ready for the next Saints Row.
Haven't done any research on it. Haven't played Saints Row since like the weird alien dubstep gun one.
That was the last one.
That was so fun to use, though.
It was fun. I
just remember that being on 360.
Really enjoy 2, even though 2 is really old, like early 2000s. It's so fun.
Well, if they ever put it on Xbox Game Pass, I'll get it. I'll try it out.
It's on Xbox, I believe.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it is, but I'm not paying for it.
Gonna get the Game Pass.
You probably get it for like $6.
I'm not paying for it.
I loved Saints Row 1 because it had a really fucking good soundtrack.
I didn't play 1. I just heard 1 was
really
like so much different than 2, and I heard 2 still rated
the
next one.
2 was when they started getting wacky. That's when you started getting like the hover bikes and the jets and everything.
But 2 was like the original wacky that everyone loves.
But I liked 1.
But
1 was
3
still comedy.
was so much different than 2.
Yeah, 3 was fucking weird. 3, they're just like, here, we're gonna go off the walls.
It was kind of cool to play though.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I mean, it was fun being able to fly.
You're
dubstep.
thinking of that's 4. That's this 4 is the one in space. We talked about this. 3 is the one where you fight the wrestler.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 is pretty fun.
4 is the one where you're in a simulation because they destroyed Earth. But the initial thing when you're the president, you just punch someone in the dick.
Yeah, that was fun.
I turned my guy into a blue demon in the original, so he's just like walking through the hallway and like he just had this demon voice where he just punched people.
Mine always had a superhero costume on.
Yeah, God, 4 was just so wacky fun. It was just enjoyable.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's get out of video games again.
We'll do 4 more.
Okay.
The red handfish uses evolved fins to walk along the ocean floors.
I'm gonna say yes, just based on the name.
red handfish.
Handfish. Handy dandy red handfish.
Negative. False.
It's true.
The red handfish.
Handfish.
Red handfish. I think that's a Pokemon based on it.
Slow Loris.
Yeah.
Can kill a human via venom transmitted through their urine.
No, negative. Their urine is in their armpits, or their venom is in their armpits.
What's a Slow Loris?
It's like a marsupial. It looks kind of like
Knuckles.
You know, So it looks
Tail.
okay. Have you seen Madagascar?
Yes.
So you know the lemur king, like the lemurs and all that.
Julian?
Yeah.
There's one
King Julius?
little
Oh,
monkey.
okay. Yeah, that
That's,
little guy.
and he's like tan.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
Sloth. Got the big
I've seen
fucking
so many-
bulgy ass eyes. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's a slow
They can
loris.
kill you with their armpits?
They've got venom in their armpits. I don't know if they can kill you, but
It's through their saliva.
I thought because they go
And it can kill a human.
because they like get it. I
So
thought it was
don't
in their
have it as a
armpits.
pet.
I mean,
No,
you do.
don't.
They can. People do all the time.
Can they
You can
they remove it. They
you can
devenom it.
devenomize things.
But they look so sad in a cage. Like I've seen so many videos. They look
I
cute
would
as
never
hell,
get
but
put in a cage. That's
they're
depressing.
Well, yeah, just let it run around like all 24/7.
a
Yeah.
little monkey creature running around. But no, they're very cute. But yeah, they can. They're
Their eyes just always make them look sad regardless. Like,
That's true.
big old
Oh
puppy
my-
dog
That
eyes.
reminds me. I don't remember what. It was a meme of like this like this little. I might have also been a marsupial. Like it's just holding 2 rice balls. It looks so sad that it can't grab a third one being handed to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what creature it is though, like the species. But it's just holding 2 rice balls, just like so sad it can't reach this third one that's being handed to it.
Dang it.
Well,
for
look at
over 3 decades, Canada and Denmark have been playfully fighting for control of a tiny island near Greenland called Hans Island.
I want to believe this so true.
Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Seems wacky enough to
Please
be
be
true.
It's true.
Yes.
Every once in a while, when officials from each country visit, they leave a bottle of their country's liquor.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice.
I like that. See, I like countries that are doing something fun. Have some fun.
When 2 pieces of the same metal touch in space, they bond permanently.
Negative.
Negative. You have
It's
a
true.
space,
The process is known as cold welding.
Space shuttles are metal. And it's consistent metal. I don't think they're bonded
Well,
together.
I think
I'm
the
pretty sure you
interior-
can deconstruct it pretty easily.
The interior is not going to have a problem because it's
No, I'm talking
pressurized
about the
chamber.
exterior that's made of metal. Like that's not bonded permanently. You can deconstruct that.
Well, they're also ceramic plating and everything like that on the outside of a ship. That's not going to be metal.
And it's not 2 pieces of the same metal.
No, I'm confused.
I don't know
I'm
that
just
for sure.
yeah. I want to know more about that because I mean, yeah, I know that there's ceramic plating. I know that there's a lot of stuff on the outside of a ship, but I don't. It's not that I'm.
I feel like in that case, there'd be like a giant ball of metal from just things that have actually touched itself in space debris.
If you join a piece of metal to another without the use of heat by forcing them together so hard that the surface oxide films are disrupted and adhesion occurs.
So they have to hit each other like really hard.
They have to like force
Okay.
against each other like super hard to create that weld.
So I'm assuming the heat that would be created in the actual impact itself in space would cause it to
It says
actually fuse to
without
itself.
the use of heat.
Yeah, because there's like no heat in
Well,
space.
I'm saying, but like, what would be like in place of heat from that?
Yeah, it's just
interaction?
the coldness of space, the
'Cause
oxide,
something has to happen from 2 things hitting
Yeah.
each other like that.
and it just together.
So yeah, I'm assuming in replace of heat, that happens. That vaguely makes sense. I was imagining just 2 pieces of metal just lightly touching each other and be like, well, this is
No,
us now.
that happened a lot during the beginning of the satellites sending up. They would just cold weld together, contact welding in space. So it doesn't
God.
have to be. It's just the oxide forms on the outside. I don't know how it happens.
We must have.
This is
formed a
from
protective-
twiglobal.com. Cold welding is a solid-state welding process that requires little or no heat or fusion to join 2 or more metals together. Instead, the energy used for creating a weld comes in the form of pressure. During the cold welding process, unlike with fusion welding processes, no liquid or molten phase is present in the joint, as can be seen in other techniques, including arc welding, friction welding, or laser welding.
I mean, it attaches to each other at a like nanoscale is what it's doing. So it's not like, yeah, it is going to be a tough, especially if it's a long piece that's adhered together at that micro scale. But like, say you had like 1 inch of something attached to it, like you could probably
Yeah.
break that weld. But yeah, like I said, it was talking about up to like, it was first recognized in the 1940s when we were sending up stuff like, or they were doing it in a vacuum. They would like just put pieces of metal together in a vacuum and it would happen. And then, but there were satellites in the early days of our satellite programs that, you know, they'd have parts that malfunctioned because it seized up in. So I want to know more about it, but it's just a It's just two materials lining up and adhering together at a microbiological scale. It's like when geckos climb on glass, they actually adhere at a molecular scale to the glass. That's not just suction cups. It's like, so it's the same concept, but not. So, but yeah, I want to study more about that. That's very interesting.
I also didn't know that satellites move at 7,000 miles per hour.
Oh yeah, they're moving quick.
Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd imagine they'd be moving pretty fast when they hit each other.
But I mean,
There'll be a lot of force.
It doesn't even have to hit each other for that to happen. Weird. One more.
That was it.
Oh, dang it. Well, we've done it. We've made it. That was four more. That was fourth.
Okay.
Well, we got some knowledge today.
I skipped a couple because they were dumb.
That's fair.
One was like, the seeds of strawberries are on the outside. Yeah, well, we all know that.
No.
We all know that.
We all know that. Well, we learned something new. Hopefully.
Yeah, I learned about cold fusion. I actually didn't know that was a thing.
I knew cold welding was a
Cold
thing. I just
welding.
didn't know it happened in space like that. But yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah. Hopefully
I
you
will say
enjoyed it
one
this
more
week.
thing. If anyone found the information I was talking about with the politicians, I recommend watching the Jimmy Dore show on YouTube. He puts out a lot of videos about like he puts out a video. It feels like almost every couple of hours about anything that comes up in media that like contradicts itself. Like anything that someone put out now that contradicts something they said yesterday, and a bunch of controversy going on right now, and he's just basically giving his 2 cents, and it's funny, and also it makes pretty good sense. So if you want something that's kind of like unfiltered on YouTube, just to watch.
This guy sounds like Ben Shapiro.
They're feminizing masculinity.
Especially
like
with
Ben
his
Shapiro,
explanation of
I do.
WAP.
I mean, that was funny, but that was such a stupid thing.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I like Ben Shapiro for a couple of things, and then for that, I was just like, man, I know, like, that's his style of comedy, and that's not my style of comedy, but
His weird flex of what his wife does for a living was just, like, distasteful to me. He's like, my wife, the doctor. I'm like, whoa. Okay. Congratulations.
I don't pay 2 cents to anything that he has to say.
Oh, like crap.
Drink some more water,
I
big
was just
guy. Eat a
saying,
banana.
drink water.
Eat a banana. Take a salt tablet. Sit in the shade.
Put your hand above your head. Do you smell toast?
No. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, comment,
Patreon.
words.
T-shirts.
Yeah, we got
T-shirts,
shirts.
yeah.
T-shirts.
Feel free to. We got the post pinned at the top of our page.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is go to that. Tell me what size. Send it into the Cash App. We're good to go.
Everyone in the comments or on our Facebook or on an Instagram say congratulations on the ad. Woo!
Yes.
Everyone give the little like the party hat emoji and say
tell
congratulations.
everyone to download the episode because we get paid for every download.
Well, whether you think we're funny, we're stupid, or annoying, or we're just someone that you can like laugh at in any aspect, show a friend and be like, "Hey, look at these idiots! They're talking."
Yeah. So
why not? I will do the same for you, so do the same for me, fucko.
I wouldn't.
Toodaloo.
I wouldn't either. Toodles,
Bye.
bitch. My shirt is
Aww.
now I just have a flap hanging off my back.
A flap? You got a flap on your back?
It's got a back flap.
Oh, you got a back flap.
Yeah, see, look at it. It's sad.
Your nipples also exposed. That was weird. We're gonna have nudity. We can't have nudity. This is a
Male
show.
nudity's okay.
This show is no
Male
nudity.
nudity's fine. What if this just couldn't tell the gender of my nipple?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
If I
that'd
grow my hair long enough, maybe I'll get confused.
Gross.
Work out a little bit more so they can't tell the difference between a peck and a tit.
A peck and
It's like, oh, I just can't tell if he has an A color.